to our friends at Disney and Lucasfilm, The Acolyte was a huge success, shattering Disney Plus records. On the surface, that sounds great for fans of the show, right? But when you actually look deeper into what they said and what that means, you start to realize that everything coming out of the House of Mouse this last week has been a manipulation meant to shield abysmal failure. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Let's take a look at how Disney is lying to you about its newest Star Wars offering. So let's take a look together at what the official word from Disney is on this. So Variety, one of the biggest shill outlets out there, folks, says The Acolyte reaches 4.8 million views in one day. Biggest Disney Plus launch of 2024. Wow. I mean, that sounds great. But yeah, let's look into it. So The Acolyte, Disney's newest Star Wars series, reached 4.8 million views in its first day of availability. This marks the streamer's biggest series premiere of 2024, according to Disney. That's a big thing you have to remember here, folks, is that these are not official numbers. They come directly from Disney. An exact first-day viewership total isn't available for Ahsoka, the most recent Star Wars series. I wonder why, though Disney did report that it took 5 days to reach 14 million views. That comes out to an average of 2.8 million views per day, 2 million below the launch of The Acolyte. Note that a view is calculated by dividing the number of hours each title is watched by its runtime. Okay, 2.8 million. Let's remember that for Ahsoka, all right? Now, there is an important thing to remember with The Acolyte. The Acolyte, and I believe Ahsoka did too, unless I'm mistaken, but The Acolyte released 2 episodes at the same time, okay? Now, we are not here saying 4.8 million views per episode. We're saying 4.8 million views in the first day. That's divided over 2 episodes, folks. So, in best case scenario, you can divide this number by 2. 4.8 million divided by 2 gives us 2.4 million people watching. Now, that's a really great night that if you're Monday Night Raw or any other cable show, it's a stellar night if you're AEW, the biggest night in the history of your company. When you're Star Wars, 2.4 million people watching your new show that's got all this hype behind it, that ain't it, folks. That ain't success. And you look at, Ahsoka, maybe 2.8 million viewers per day, 2 million below the launch of The Acolyte. That is they're completely misconstruing that number, and they're doing it intentionally. There's a reason why this is worded the way that it's worded. You might be telling yourself 2.4 million, that's pretty good. Modern cable shows would be ecstatic to have that, okay? But now let's take a look at something that you have to consider when looking at figures like this, okay? And that is the number of subscribers worldwide. Now, according to Statista, in millions, we have got 153.6 million people as of the second quarter of 2024. All right, so let's take a look at our old friend Google, and we're asking what percentage of 153.6 million is 2.4 million? That is 1.5625%. That is abysmal. That is horrific. Your brand new show, the biggest thing on your streaming service, 1.5% of your people actually watched it. Heck, let's be kind. Let's round up since it's 1.56. We'll say 1.6%, and that's being exceptionally kind. Now, the 2.4 million is also an estimation. What is more likely what happened here, but I can't say for sure, is that more people than 2.4 million tuned in for the first episode. Maybe you had 3 million tuned in for the first episode, and then fewer people watched the second one because the first one was as bad as it was. But, of course, that's not going to stop the shill media from lauding its praises. We saw it with that Variety article. We're also seeing a 91% average positive review on Rotten Tomato for the show, with 27% in the audience score. There has never been a bigger divide between movie critics and the movie audience, and we are seeing that in spades lately. 91% versus 27%. That is too big of a divide to ignore. But I bet you they ignore it. When you look at these numbers, you have to say to yourself, this is not a success. All right, you can scream review bombing all you want. You can carry on about bad faith actors or whatever it is you want. 27% of the audience liked this that reviewed it. If people really, really, really liked and were passionate about this show, they'd have shown up in greater force than the haters. I'm sorry. Now let's take a look at X-Men 97, the most recent Disney Marvel offering on Disney Plus. That hit 4 million views in 5 days. Now, it's also should be noted that this was also a 2-episode premiere. So 4 million, you're looking at about 2 million per episode over 5 days. However, this is animation that is designed specifically for adults that grew up on the X-Men 90s cartoon. You cannot compare animation to live action in terms of ratings. I mean, X-Men 97 had such low ratings, despite the fact that it was actually a very good show, and we do have a video where we talk about how good it was. I mean, it was a solid 8.5 out of 10, easily. But you can't compare animation numbers to live action numbers. People just don't tune in the same way. Just like if you were to launch, another season of the Clone Wars to give us all those lost episodes we never got, like the Darth Maul, Palpatine, Grievous, Mother Talzin, Dooku episode, it would probably not hit the same level as the Acolyte's first episodes did, because it's live action versus animation, and there's some people that just can't get over that hurdle. So at the end of the day, the Acolyte, abysmal failure. Folks, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the shill media. They are trying to manipulate you. They are trying to trick you. They are trying to tell you that a turd is a diamond so that you will wear it around your neck and proudly proclaim how happy you are to be wearing this out in public. In closing, I just want to say, remember to think for yourselves. Whether it's a movie studio, your boss, or politicians, never take things at face value, because there's always someone out there trying to manipulate you in order to get your time, money, or support. The Acolyte is a failure so far, both critically and commercially. Star Wars is a dying brand, and at this point, I don't think anything can be done to save it. So, what do you guys think? Is Star Wars doomed? Can anything be done to pull it from the brink? Or have we crossed the point of no return? Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Click the little bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. It really helps our new channel out immensely. Thanks for watching. For all of us here at Tooningtown TV, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!